What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. In today's video, we're going to dive into Hedera Hashgraph, discussing some recent developments and then the HBAR price chart at the end of this video. Okay, first up, taking a look at Hedera's Governing Council, 39 of the world's largest organizations, and you can see there are open spots left, so I'm very excited to see which companies actually fill these remaining spots. We have Google, we have LG, we have IBM, we have Deutsche Telekom, of course T-Mobile's included, you have Dell, we have DBS Bank, one of the largest banks in Singapore based on AUM, you have Boeing, ServiceNow, Standard Bank, Ubisoft in the gaming sector, multi-billion-dollar funds like Aberdeen, and Avery Dennison. So as of now, the Governing Council members have a global presence from Kuwait to India to the UK, France, places like Texas, California, South Africa, South Korea, Japan, Brazil, Australia, Germany, Singapore, Switzerland. And the Hedera ecosystem continues to grow. You can learn more at hedera.com/ecosystem as we scroll down to enterprise applications. We can see a variety of not just case studies, but live enterprise applications today that are just getting started. And I personally really like HBAR. They have real funding, real tech, and real value adds. And they're targeting the enterprise market, and they're also working with several governments today. The enterprise market is the largest market in the world, and it's the least penetrated market in the crypto asset class. So we have not seen what true transactions and throughput at scale can do for some of these networks. We have Standard Bank, a digital bond platform for the issuances of tokenized financial assets in banking and identity. We have ServiceNow, focused on data integrity and workflow productivity. We have Supply Chain with Avery Dennison, and their platform alone has over 22 billion items connected to the cloud, assigning unique digital IDs to everyday items, providing unparalleled end-to-end transparency by tracking, storing, and managing all the events. And this is just one single use case starting to get ramped up. Atma.io allows for products, their creation, transfer, and eventual scale to be verifiably recorded on Hedera, using the scalable and low-cost Hedera consensus service. And what's crazy to think is we only really have a few enterprise applications that are just starting to scale up, like Atma.io, and tracking all these products. We were just at 1 billion transactions on Hedera's mainnet not too long ago. I feel like I blinked and we're over 15 billion transactions. And just to put this into perspective, guys, HBAR's mainnet is over 15 billion transactions so far. July isn't over yet, and this marks the third consecutive month of over 2 billion transactions, so 3 months in a row of 2 billion. Take a look at our transactions even last year. Great things take time, and we're doing over 2 billion a month thus far. Eventually, we'll be doing over 10 billion transactions in a single month, and we're on the road to 1 trillion transactions on the mainnet. I first bought HBAR on the launch day in 2019 when it first launched on exchanges, almost 4 years later. And I'm excited to see how the space grows over the coming years, with tokenization becoming mainstream and DLT, blockchain, even DAGs like HBAR underlying and connecting to most of these networks and asset classes we have today. And we'll talk about the Hedera price chart and future market capitalizations and where the price could go, but we have to understand for these networks to survive, they need computation and applications, and HBAR has that. And of course, the HBAR Foundation has allocated over $408 million into the Hedera ecosystem, with 225 grants given. And Hedera is a real layer 1 network contender that I believe will be here in 3, 5, and even 10 years. And that is what I'm focused on, because if the crypto asset class does explode, tokenization grows, I'm focused on those projects that will be in the top 10, top 50, or even top 100. They have a real and public team to go after enterprise applications. These are not meme coins. This is not a microcap. Hedera is a legitimate enterprise-grade network that will likely be here in the coming years. So I encourage anybody curious to learn more about HBAR and you're new to go to hedera.com, look through the ecosystem, look at the use cases, and look at some of these live applications today. We have LG with NFT marketplaces. We have Coupon Bureau right here maintaining universal manufacturer offer promotions. We have Toko by the global law firm DLA Piper sitting on Hedera's Governing Council for a tokenization engine. We know the $16 trillion estimate by 2030 by BCG for global illiquid assets, and I'm betting that Hedera Hashgraph, targeting enterprises as a layer 1 network, is one of the best positioned to capitalize on the trillions of dollars that could be total value represented on their chain, or TVR. So we have loyalty programs and online sales. You have MTech, of course, sustainable central bank digital currency framework for central banks. They just had some recent news come out. We discussed some ChatGPT plugins with Hedera the other day, and we can also see Unthink AI. We know Diamond Standard also tokenizing diamonds on top of Hedera's Hashgraph. And we know that Hedera Hashgraph and HBAR, the native token, is very well suited thanks to its low and predictable costs for verifying product authenticity, supply chain, end-to-end tracking, and even right here solving healthcare challenges with open data. We also know that FIS, one of the world's largest organizations on Hedera's governing council, is one of the service providers for FedNow. And in recent news, we had Shinhan Bank, that also sits on Hedera's governing council, announced the successful completion of a stablecoin remittances proof of concept pilot on Hedera. So this was a successful second pilot. This has actually been in the works since 2021. So leveraging Hedera to explore the potential of stablecoins as a means of facilitating cross-border remittances. With 27 million customers, 887 branches, including 166 global branches in 20 countries. And now some even bigger news related to HBAR. So we have WorldPay from FIS. FIS sits on Hedera's governing council. They do over 40 billion transactions and over $1.7 trillion in annual volume. We have Patrick Keeney, Business Development for Crypto and Web3 at WorldPay. And we learned for the first time that WorldPay has a live proof of concept leveraging Hedera for USDC stablecoin proof of reserves. And remember that Hedera sits on Hyperledger's foundation, some of the world's largest organizations, and we can see Hyperledger Fabric leveraging the Hedera consensus service. And that's an example of Hyperledger Fabric, a private chain leveraging Hedera's public network for consensus. Hyperledger Fabric is one of the largest private chains in the world, and if they're connecting to different public networks like Casper and HBAR, that's a big deal. We can see working with Walmart, HSBC, and many more. And you can find all of this information out on docs.hedera.com. And as you scroll down, you can click core concepts, you can look at staking, smart contracts, anything. And remember Neuron, with over 2.7 billion drone flights and over 1 million sensors that are required, using Hedera's consensus to provide a tamper-proof record of all critical communications between sensors and drones to connect the planet's entire bandwidth of IoT resources. Right on Neuron's website, we have a Hedera video. And King Solomon, a must-follow on YouTube and Twitter right here, HBAR working with BBC. He also found a patent that was issued by PayPal, and we can see they mention HBAR specifically in this patent, discussing the use of biometrics and crypto key creation or for digital signatures. And just like Mason says right here, if you have Hashback as the HBAR wallet, there is zero reason not to be staking your HBAR. Hashback is super easy to use. It is a mobile application and also a web browser, so you can use it with Chrome or Brave. Out of any crypto project that I've held in its own wallet, Hashback by far is my favorite. And if you do hold your HBAR on Hashback, there's literally no reason not to stake and earn some rewards. The overall staking is capped at 6.5%, but it's still better than nothing to compound your returns. And also remember Medico. So what's interesting about this, connected to Citi, BNP Paribas, DBS, the world's largest banks and digital exchanges, we can see enterprise-ready packages for multiple digital asset use cases. And they project that crypto custody will be a $10 trillion market opportunity by 2030. And this group was recently seen transacting several million HBAR. So I definitely believe that HBAR will be included in these crypto custody solutions and on these crypto trading desks in the future. And keep an eye on MTech. This is built on Hedera, a financial application serving the unbanked through low-cost transactions, total transparency, and trust. And here's the typical cost of a transaction on Hedera: a fraction of a penny. With almost 2 billion people unbanked worldwide, this is a huge opportunity. A few days ago, MTech released its Web3-enabled central bank digital currency innovation kit. And this is built for other fintechs. We can see leveraging the public DLT Hedera Hashgraph. And there's over $10 trillion of paper cash in circulation and over 93% of central banks exploring and piloting CBDCs. So I'm keeping tabs on different case studies and real-world examples of asset tokenization. Just with Red Swan, the commercial real estate company with $5 billion in AUM, launching its token studio on Hedera. We also have some new Ethereum virtual machine tooling and MetaMask connectivity with Hedera and MetaMask. With these tools and the imminent availability of MetaMask for retail users, we're making sure that the Hedera ecosystem is ready to welcome a broader user base. So with these updates, we'll be able to transfer HBAR to and from different Ethereum-based accounts. So pretty excited for this. And right here by Michael Garber, JavaScript's async programming revolutionized the web, now powering 97% of all websites. In blockchain, Hedera's async Byzantine fault tolerance echoes this with fair, fast, secure transaction validation. I think what we will see is that Hedera will be like the JavaScript of Web3. Being able to send a transaction at any time instead of having to wait in line is really innovative. Cough, cough, most networks. It's better to not have to wait in line for anything, and then to still achieve fair ordering. And this is super important for enterprise adoption. I believe we could see other Hyperledger frameworks leveraging Hedera's consensus service on the public network. Okay, now for the HBAR price chart. So we have HBAR on the daily on the left, and we have XLM on the right. So we've seen a variety of alts already reach their 500-day MA, which is this purple line. So we can see XLM initially hit this level with a wick perfectly, coming back down and then drawing an impulse much higher. When we look at HBAR, the 500-day MA is right around 7.8 cents. Not financial advice, but I'm personally expecting us to still retrace towards that 500-day MA, and I believe this low will hold provided Bitcoin doesn't dump. We can see how Bitcoin was acting when it finally got up to the 500-day MA, then kind of using this as a level of support and resistance, and then finally blasting above. The XRP price chart also did something similar, reaching that level, falling back down, reclaiming this level, establishing support, and then taking off. And the Casper price chart initially surpassed this level, fell back down, and it looks like we're still trying to get back above the 500-day. And turn the lights on for HBAR, we have a variety of weekly fair value gaps above. I believe these levels are like magnets for price action. Once we get the volume, we're going to reach these levels. We've got a variety of open weekly fair value gaps on higher time frames. So I'm waiting for HBAR to reclaim the 500-day MA just under 8 cents and then take out the previous swing high just under 10 cents. We have the weekly pivot that is yet to be tested. Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and dozens of alts have already hit the P pivot or R1. And looking at the weekly RSI, we're right around 46. I have an alert on the 50 line. So a few things to note. Since 2019, when HBAR launched, we did a huge crash. We're under 1 penny as the all-time low price. From under 1 penny, we went to 57 cents or 58 cents on other exchanges, over a 60x from its all-time low. Since its previous all-time high, it has crashed 93%. I know people are concerned with HBAR circulating supply and then the total supply, but this is the maxed cap supply. So let's talk about what's really possible and what have we seen different alts in the top 10 do during previous bullish cycles. So for example, we have Cardano and Doge still in the top 10. Now Cardano's all-time high market capitalization was $99 billion in August of 2021. Its circulating supply at the time was very similar to HBAR's today at $32 billion, and it reached an all-time high of $3.10. And even Dogecoin almost a $95 billion market cap. And I want to emphasize, we have not seen enterprise adoption, we have not seen trillions of dollars of transactions solving real problems. Most of these alts rallied hard thanks to the bull run, Bitcoin liquidity, community, and some retail developments. But I want to emphasize, we still don't even have regulatory clarity. And I believe that day is coming. So for example, just comparing Cardano is another layer 1. With HBAR's current circulating supply, if it reached the all-time high market cap of Cardano at $99 billion, the current price would be over $3. If we want to be conservative, let's consider the total supply and say 100% is in circulation in the coming years. So we would take 99 billion divided by 50 billion, and you would get $1.98, just under $2. If HBAR reached XRP's all-time high market cap in 2018 of 148 billion, 148 billion divided by the current circulating supply would take HBAR to $4.56 today. And if we assumed 100% of all HBAR tokens are in circulation, 50 billion cap supply. With XRP's previous all-time high market cap, that would still be $2.96. So for anybody to say that HBAR can't and will never reach $1 plus, I wouldn't bet against them. Cardano essentially with the exact circulating supply as HBAR today reached $3 plus last cycle. So we've seen it before, and the question is, how big is the tokenization market going to be, and how big of an impact will the total crypto asset class have on this? We're at 1 trillion today, the all-time high was 3 trillion. I personally believe that we see 5 to 8 trillion this decade easily. And last but not least, we have iTrustCapital. This is going to be linked in the top of the YouTube video description and in the pinned comment. If you use my link to fund your account, you also get a $100 funding reward in USD. And I want to give an example of why I've had a Roth IRA with this platform for part of my crypto portfolio for over 3 years. Because with a Roth IRA, all of my profits are 100% tax-free, meaning that I'm paying 0% in taxes for capital gains. And here we have a capital gains tax calculator. So we're going to say a single individual living in New York makes $1 million profit when crypto moons, and their annual income is $100,000. As we look at the marginal tax rates and effective tax rates for short-term capital gains, meaning they held these for less than a year, we can see after considering federal, state, and local taxes, almost 50% of your profits are paid to taxes, with the effective tax rate at 38%. Even if you held this longer than a year and paid long-term capital gains in this scenario, you'd still be paying over $300,000 in taxes for that $1 million profit in that crypto moon scenario. So be sure to check out the link in the top of the YouTube video description. They're a qualified custodian under the SEC with institutional grade crypto custody. With the recent integration with Fortress, I'm expecting a lot more assets to be available in the future. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.